Lash day! Woo! So these are the lashes I usually use. This is how I get that natural wispy looking look. The Huda Beauty eyelash cluster look that everyone's been dying to try to get. But this is what I use to get it. The Jeremy brand, which is really good. This is the bond I use. I use it all the time, and this is a really great bond brand. This is the bond I usually use. It's the Quewell brand, and it's excellent. I can cry a million times, and my lash clusters do not budge. My clusters stay on for like 3 to 4 months, and it's just amazing. This is the bond, and then I usually just mix the bond with any seal that I have available in the house. Just for that extra security, I still use a seal on my bond. And today I'm using the Jeremy brand of bond and seal. So I'm still using this Quewell bond, but I'm gonna seal my lash clusters with the Jeremy seal because I have not been able to find a seal that comes in a big bottle like by itself, so just mix and match a little bit. This is what the box looks like, and then when you open it, okay, so this is the bond side. Obviously it's the black side, and then this is what the seal side looks like. I love these like cotton tips or whatever it's called because it's just easier to seal, go under and seal with the cotton tip. And then this is what the bond looks like. And that's just a black. I usually just pour it onto the container of my clusters and dip my cluster in. So let's get started so I can show you how I do it. Alright, so I'm just gonna open this up and pour some onto this little thingy. And okay, so it's open. Okay, so let's go ahead. Gonna let it sit for a little bit, not too long, because it will dry and become too sticky. So you're just gonna let it dry for a little bit while you get set up. Okay, this is the Jeremy brand that I use, like I said before, to get that beautiful, wispy, wet looking set. That's what it looks like. And this is a brand that I usually use and I love. It just feels really lightweight and it does not itch my eye at all. Which with one of the brands it did itch my eye, but this one was perfectly fine. And it's lightweight. I got it off Amazon. I got all of these things off Amazon actually, and it was a really good price. It's only like maybe $9 or $10. Okay, so because my eye is so little, I don't go in with the longest cluster on the end. I usually go in with the 14, just because my eye is so little, and if I put something longer, it'll look like a spider. It's on my eye, or like a centipede, and you don't want that. So if you have a smaller eye, start with the shorter length, so it goes from 16 to 15 to 14 to 12, 12, 10, and an 8. I'm gonna skip the 16 and the 15, and I'm gonna go straight in with the 14. And then just map it out. And okay, so I'm gonna go in with 14, 14, 12, 12, 10, and then 8. And the reason being is because I still like my eye to have that little like cat eye look. So I take my 14 and I put it right on the corner of my eye, tipping it more like that way, going back towards that way, so then, and then obviously that way, just so then my eye goes in the shape of my face, if that makes sense, which it doesn't, but you'll see what I mean after. That makes no sense at all, but you'll see what I mean. So these are the things you want to have ready while doing your eyelash clusters. Your tweezers, obviously, then your bond, and obviously the main thing, is your clusters. Oh, and a mirror. You want a mirror to be able to see exactly where you're placing your cluster, because if not, you may end up with separation, or you may end up with one eyelash going this way and one eyelash going that way. There's more scenarios, but just make sure you have your mirror handy to see exact placement of what you're doing. Alright, so you're gonna pick up your cluster. You're gonna go ahead and dip it in your blonde. So we're gonna dip it in our blonde. Okay, so you take your cluster. You have it like this, facing you like this. You take it and you dip the top part into the blonde, wiping off the excess. Just give it a little shake, making sure it's dry. Well, not dry, but just give it a little shake. Looking exactly at the placement, you take your cluster and just place it on. And see, you can get problems like this where it twists that way, and you don't want that, because as you can see, it's facing that way. If I leave it like this, my eye will completely look weird. So you take it off, you can do it again. Take it off, do it again. Make sure it has enough bond still on it. And don't put it all the way at the edge of your eye, because then your eye will look droopy. And then if it's sticking like that, just push it out. That placement looks good enough to me, so we'll leave it. It's still sticking to my bottom lash a little, so you literally just have to keep pushing it up. Yeah, your cluster will stick to your bottom lash, but as you go, it will not, because it obviously will start to dry down and won't stick. But anyway, we're going to grab another 14. You're doing the exact same thing every single time until you're done. And before you seal, make sure that you don't have too much of the cluster stacked around your pupil area. Okay, you're going to take the cluster, have it facing like this, dip it in at the top, wipe off the excess. off and do it again. It really helps when you can see right under your lash line, because you can see exactly where you're placing your cluster and then how it's going to look after. Just make sure you look at your eye and you make sure it's in the right placement, because once you clamp it and you put the seal on, it's staying like that unless you have the remover. It's the bottom remover, the blue remover, cluster remover thing. So yeah, make sure that you have your clusters in the right placement. The most annoying part is when it sticks to your bottom lash. But can you see how beautiful it looks already? And I've only placed 2 on it. I mean 2 on so far. Alright, so now I'm gonna go in with a 12. I'm just picking it up again. Alright. So annoying when it sticks to my bottom lash. Okay. Taking it and placing it on. If you don't like the placement, take it back off. Gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And there's only 3 on there. And it already looks good. Look at the difference. That's crazy. Okay, once the eye is done, then you debate whether you want to add or fix. Okay, so I think I'm gonna add to the ink. I'll take a 15. So I'm just adding my 15 to the end. Your bond will smudge. See? It will. And you still want to have an extra baby wipe handy just in case something like that happens. Okay, so now I'm going to take my seal and just lock everything in place. And this isn't the final look. If you want to add more, you can add more. But I like it more natural like this, and you can see how it goes like in a slanted way. That's why I like it. And I like it really low towards the corner of my eye. Okay, once you got your cluster in the right position for the millionth time, then you gotta seal. Okay, there we go. Get as much on there as you can, but don't stack it up too much where your cluster is starting to like come off when you clamp. Just get enough on there. And as you're putting it on, just give it a little push up. Go like this. And now you're gonna clamp everything. That's what you don't want to happen. The Huda wispy cat eye looking look. I don't know if you guys can see it properly, that's what it looks